Good afternoon. My name is Brent Butchard and I lead the Application Modernisation and Connectivity Division for Australia and New Zealand. Recent indicators from IDC's Technology Trends Report for 2021 indicates that 2/3 of the world's GDP will be digitised by next year. This will drive a multi-trillion-dollar IT investment until 2023. It will affect the way that businesses interact with their customers, but no more so than the low-touch, high-impact retail industry. You heard from Kmart and their success, winning the Micro Focus APJ Digital Transformation and Innovation Award. Infosys worked with Micro Focus to make the Kmart modernisation project the benchmark for success in Asia and the world round. Let's now hear from Andal on Infosys' perspective of retail and logistics and the transformation underway in this industry. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Andal, and thank you so
Robert.
much for taking the time to chat with us today, and welcome to Micro Focus.
Thank you.
We've got a number of questions for you. And first off, it'd be great if you could share with us Infosys' view of the logistics and retail business in APAC and where you see the industry going.
Sure. First of all, thank you, Robert, for having me. It's great to talk in the backdrop of key client success that we've had. So wonderful. As we all know, the last 1 year has been hit by the pandemic, and that's the most important disruption we've had to our lives and to our industries. And the way I see things going is based on the help, deep in the trenches help that we've been lending to our clients in both retail and logistics. I think one thing that I would pick to call out, which is again very relevant to our topic today, is the impact on online commerce. I think while there are multiple trends emerging in terms of consumer behavior and many other sectors, I think online commerce is something I really like to pick out for our discussion today.
What has been the impact on your customers in the whole topic of digital transformation? And how has the logistics and the retail business come together as e-commerce has grown?
Right. Like you said, e-commerce has grown, and it's here to stay, whether it's 100, 90, 80, 70, 60 of percentage of sales is to be watched as the whole thing unfolds. But definitely the collaboration between the retailers and the logistics players have expanded a lot. Now, when you and I as consumers go online and buy, today we look for very different delivery capabilities. Some of us want it urgently, some of us want it in 24 hours, some of us are okay for 3 days. So as retailers, now we have to think about having the capability to work with multiple logistics players who provide you this and a plethora of capabilities. We're no longer sticking to the post and parcels companies that we used to in the past. That means that I must have the ability to work with them business-wise and in terms of digital technology. That's a key trend. The other impact of online commerce is also the strength of digitally born online commerce platform and marketplaces, and they're not saddled with any of the technology debts that traditional retail players are having to deal with. And therefore, our customers are now struggling with, how do I digitally transform, given that I'm heavily invested in legacy IT platforms. So at Infosys, we have a number of clients approaching us to see how do they transform themselves. And our advice to them has been focused on modernizing the legacy and adopting cloud, right? Now, when you think of what does investment in legacy platform means to them, it's extremely expensive to maintain, and the speed to change is very slow. So we are advising our clients to decouple the two, and we leverage on what we call as our framework, blueprint for modern retailers, and advise clients on delinking the legacy and the transformation, which means that we can leverage on the data that's unlocked in legacy and also build a microservices focused architecture around the legacy. So this means that their transformation investment is commercially viable.
One of your customers is Kmart in Australia, big customer. How's the Micro Focus partnership with Infosys help Kmart in their progression of this modernization journey?
We have a strong partnership globally, you know that, Robert, between Micro Focus and Infosys. I think our partnership, particularly in Australia, is a key example of, I would say, a reference point for a partnership between us, the way we serve our mutual client. We work, engage our clients early. We focus on the customer's issues, and we bring pragmatic solutions, right? Our mutual client Kmart, we've done exactly the same thing, right? Bringing these three principles: early engagement, focus on their problem, and giving a pragmatic solution. Now, we have successfully migrated their legacy application to AWS. Now, all this migration also happened at a time when everybody was working remotely. Now, the success of such a migration is seen when there's peak sales during the festive season. So I think as a business, there was no disruption to them. All they could feel was there is an immediate increase in scalability of the platform. So it went beautifully. The three teams worked very well together between Micro Focus, Infosys, and Kmart. And our own, Infosys' own center of modernization, my mainframe modernization excellence, helped to lead this from the front. So it has been a fantastic partnership and plenty of benefits to the client.
What are some of the quantifiable benefits that Kmart derived from the relationship? How would you expand on that more?
Okay, I mean, quantification is always client confidential information.
Indeed, yes.
Yeah. So, but I think there are tons of public references and codes that's available. And we can see that the clients saved millions of dollars in terms of hosting, platform hosting, infrastructure hosting. That's been a huge benefit. But let's not just focus on the millions of dollars that's saved on infrastructure cost alone. What it's really helped Kmart is to bring in a scalable and an ability to digitally transform themselves so they can meet the shifting business models and changing client needs. And we can only imagine the impact that will have on the business and the revenue and the customer retention.
How does this help customers, do you think, adapt to the upcoming trends in the industry?
Right. I think, if you look at what's happening in the industry, the shifts are macroeconomic. There is the conditions are still emerging, and people need to weigh in, and that puts pressure on costs and investments. Consumer behavior is still changing. As I said right in the beginning, we really don't know the extent of an online adoption that will stay post the pandemic and everything is done. And there's also the emergence of disruptive technologies, and every now and then we are having new technologies coming in. So our clients are, when they face all of this, I think the days of big ticket transformations over. It will all be replaced by small, continuous innovation initiatives. That's where the focus is going to be. And as I alluded to earlier, these continuous innovations make it self-funded. So we are able to, those clients that actually take on a blueprint which has a roadmap of continuous innovations, which are self-funded, are the ones who are going to emerge as winners, rather than those who are going to rip and replace their legacy technology. So I think that's a really important thing that's here to stay and focus for our clients.
How are Micro Focus and Infosys geared up to help customers address these imperatives?
Sure. I think, Robert, that we collaborate globally across many areas, including applications, infrastructure, digital trust, and cyber resiliency. I think what Micro Focus brings in the partnership is your latest technology to bridge the legacy to the new age. And what Infosys brings to the table is our deep domain, industry domain, retail and logistics capabilities. Our ability to be a system integrator, working with multiple partners, and also our ability to blueprint a business-oriented transformation. So I think together, and Infosys ethos itself builds on working with us, with a set of ecosystem partners, including Micro Focus and AWS. In Kmart's case, we've worked with both of you. And that's, I think, the partnership is what brings us to offer our clients a scalable and commercially viable solution for the legacy modernization issue. Thank you.
That's great. Thank you. Thank you so much for spending some time with us today. I think we've got a great partnership in APAC and worldwide, and it's been wonderful to hear your thoughts and comments. Again, thank you for your time.
Thank you so much for having me here. Thank you.